So yo, it's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. I'll be breaking down Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal. Best friends turned enemies. I love this fucking fight. I gotta break it down. I did a very interesting. I would call it a 4-fight film study storyline breakdown. So I'm not gonna go too much into this storyline because I think we all know it. I will actually link some videos you guys should actually check out, which were really dope, that Deeper Dive did, and I forgot the other guy who does like documentaries. I forgot his name, but they're pretty dope. I love shit like that. I like Mixed Molly Wop, whatever, if you guys know him, guys go check him out. I'm just gonna be really breaking down the fights, man. We all know these guys used to train together, they used to live together. I could break down that, but we all know, in the great words in Allen Iverson, we really talking about practice. You know what I'm saying? So, practice! I'm not going to talk about practice. I did see those videos, and I saw what happened in there. But I think the great Chael Sonnen said it best. Actually, we'll leave that clip here.
Contest. When you go in the practice room, you want to be a good partner. You want to take care of your buddy. You can wrestle at 100%. You can explode and go fat. You can drive him in the wall, pick him up, put him down right onto the mat. Everybody leaves in one piece. You cannot strike that way. You will strike at a maximum 80%. If you ever find yourself in a situation where the guy is going more than 80%, stop and go get a new partner because he's not there to help you. I bring that to you because Colby's wrestling heavy. So when they were sparring, Colby was able to do 100% of what he likes to do best. Masvidal was striking heavy at that time. He was pulling back, and that's why I'm telling you, and I'll tell you again till I'm blue in the face, these two do not know each other. They do not have a good frame of reference. Those workouts do not have anything to do with it. There's a reason that they both stepped up so quickly to sign this contract and have such bravado and confidence that they're going to win.
As you saw, the great Chael Sonnen said it best. He wasn't really trying in the striking, but Colby was trying in the wrestling. He can go all out. So, again, I'm not going to be talking about the practice aspect or the teammate. Like, there are some things to talk about, but I feel like it's what they've done in the fights. It's not what they've done in the training room. Don't get it twisted. The training, the sparring, the pad sessions, the wrestling sessions, all that's important. Don't get it twisted. It really is. But it's more important to the MMA community, and I'm not talking about the fan base. I'm talking about the fighters. It's more important to the gym. It's more important to the coaches. But for us, I feel like we shouldn't look at that. We should be looking at what's happening in real time and what's happening under the spotlight, because that's not in the spotlight. And it's hard. Sometimes guys don't live up to that expectation you had. Like, oh, that guy did that in the training room. Why can't he do it now? It doesn't work like that sometimes. Like, it's crazy, but it really doesn't. But yeah, you guys know I'm not gonna beat around the bush anymore. Y'all know who my boy is. Y'all know out of all MMA, out of all current MMA fighters, Colby Covington is my favorite fighter. You guys know that. I've been a big fan of him. He is just the man. There's a lot of guys I like. Don't get it twisted. I think I made like a top 15 pound for pound favorite fighters. Right? If you haven't seen it, or like I've made a top 30 all time. Now Colby isn't on the top of that list, but right now it's like Colby, Leon. Those are my guys, right? Colby is my guy. And I really want to see him win this. But from watching the film, and we'll talk about it, man, it's really a real hard fight for him. This is just as hard, in my opinion, as the Rafael dos Anjos fight, which is the only issue is that X factor that Jorge has, that one-hitter quitter. Actually, I wouldn't call it one-hitter quitter. He has that, he touches you in the right spot, you're donezo. So that's what makes this fight really interesting, and he has really good takedown defense, and we'll talk about that. So I want to keep it respectful to Jorge to a certain extent of his skills. I do think he has a chance, and that's how I feel about every fighter. I feel like every fighter has a chance. Like, everyone has a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter who you are, you got a chance. All right, it doesn't matter if it's by 0.5 or if it's 0%, point something, right? There's still a chance there. You might fucking come through and sneak a upset. And he has a chance here. He has a legit chance. Stylistically, this is an interesting fight. It's a good fight. And the odds are just wild. They're wild. It almost makes you want to put money on Jorge. Like, that's how crazy the odds are. But I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room. There is a reason why I'm wearing all black. And I know I just said, let's be a little respectful to Jorge. Mr. Masvidal Bum, Mr. Street Bum, Jorge, as I like to call him. I've talked a lot of shit about him online, but he's a good dude. But when are you guys fine? 11 days from now, there will be a funeral. And I'm just doing a little pre-funeral stuff. We're gonna remember Jorge for what he's accomplished, because there is a reason why I'm wearing all black. There will be a funeral on Saturday at UFC 272. Colby Covington will end Jorge Masvidal, and that is just my humble opinion. I could be wrong, and I could look like an idiot that's wearing all black for no reason, but I don't think I will be wearing all black for no reason. A little bit of gold, if you can see the chain. You can see the chain. A little bit of gold, but I truly believe Colby will end this man, and I don't know what he will do at the age of 37 past this fight, but I think Colby at 34 in his prime, I think he'll end him. I really do. So that's just my humble opinion on the whole entire situation. And Jorge, he had a great life. He had an awesome life, and we're gonna be talking about what he's accomplished in his MMA career. So let's get to it, man. I totally forgot to bring my Bang Energy. I would have brought my Bang Energy, but it is what it is, just for my boy Colby. But let's talk about the fucking stats, man. Colby Covington comes with a record. Actually, let's not even talk about the stats. Let's talk about the rankings, actually, and where these guys rank, because it is an interesting ranking matchup. I actually liked how they did that. But I don't want to see fucking Islam Makhachev right now. The hell they showing me Islam Makhachev? Colby Covington sits at the number 1 spot on the UFC rankings, and Jorge's number 6. So he's fallen down a bit. I remember Jorge was like, 4 or 5 when he fought Usman, something in that area, 3-2. And he's fallen down since that those 2 consecutive losses to Kumar Usman. He's fallen down. But it is what it is. He's still game, and he is still dangerous. As much as I look at him as a guy that's at the end of the rope, this is his last chance for glory. Sometimes you put an animal right by the corner, and you might look at his number, say he's number 6, and be like, oh, that guy's easy money. He might be the worst thing you've ever decided to pick on, because a scared animal is a very, very dangerous animal. So right now, he has nothing to fucking lose. That's the thing. He has nothing to lose. Well, I mean, there is stuff for him to lose, but we'll talk more about that. But yeah, Colby Covington comes with a record of 16-3. Fights out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Age 34, a height of 5'11", and reaches 72. Jorge, 35-15. So you can just see it right then and there, the experience. Now, Colby has a lot of fights. It's not like he doesn't have a lot, but man, Jorge has a lot more, and he's been in the game a lot longer. He's also fighting out of Miami, Florida, age 37. So you see the age difference right then and there. You can just see it right then and there. Jorge is a little older, and at that age, you're past your prime, and he's a welterweight. It's not like he's a heavyweight. He's a bigger guy. Obviously, he's not the light, but he's in that in between where he's light and big. So a height of 5'11" and a reach of 74. So he does have the reach advantage here. I think it's plain and simple. Stylistically, I think Jorge does have a striking advantage here. I really do. But before I talk about Colby Covington, I really wanted to talk about Jorge here. And like I said, I did a storyline film study base, right? So obviously, these guys were friends all the way up to Jorge. One of Jorge's, in my humble opinion, a lot of people don't talk about this, his real coming out party. In my humble opinion, this is when people really started to notice Jorge Masvidal, and that was against Donald Cerrone. And these guys are still homies, and him and Colby, by the way. When he fought Cerrone, man, you could tell it's in Cerrone's hometown. Cerrone was on a really good run, actually, at welterweight. People forget he was actually number 5. He wins that fight, he's potentially fighting for a belt. And I mean, fucking Jorge with the short hair. This is when I used to like Jorge. Like, I really thought Jorge was cool, man. I fucked with Jorge back then. And he came in there with the short hair and went after that dude and fucking knocked him to the next dimension. The first knockdown was fucking brutal. It was brutal, man. It should have been done, but the fucking time clock ran out, and it is what it is. And then that second, well, basically the finish, he drops him fucking Cerrone gets right back up, and then he works the body, which is something interesting. You guys gotta look at the body work of Jorge Masvidal is something you really gotta look at in this matchup, man. He's gonna use that against Colby, and I'll talk about that in the Colby Covington little film study breakdown that I did for him. But man, yeah, he attacked that body well. He really did. He really did. And he ended up getting the finish there and just fucking broke him. And that's when he became top 5. And he got put in a title eliminator. A lot of people don't remember this. Him versus Damian Maia was the number 1 contender bout. I rewatched the fight, but I actually, sometimes I'll skip over, when they do like a promo for the fight and then the entrances, right? I actually watched the promo. I watched Jorge's entrance, but I'm not gonna lie, I watched the whole entire thing. I don't act like I skipped over it, but because Damian Mike comes with that cool, I forgot what it's called, but he comes at, I think, LinkedIn Park, like little song, and then Jorge comes with the Scarface thing. But in the promo, Jorge was talking mess, man. He was like, man, the people, the UFC brought me there as their hitman, and I gotta take this dude out. I gotta take Blood out, man. He's just some riffraff, and they don't want him fighting for the UFC belt. They want him gone. Oh, man, gotta go. This and that, right? He didn't say exactly those words, but I'm just paraphrasing, right? And he ended up fighting Damian Maia, and it was a close fight. It really was a close fight. But when I first watched it, I thought Jorge won. But when I watch it again, I actually can see why they gave it to Maia, and I'm actually happy they ended up giving it to Maia. And I think it works out in terms of storyline point of view. Jorge obviously ended up getting his title shot in the future after that fight, so it's not like he got screwed. But against Maia, man, I thought Damian did a really good job of always controlling Jorge. Now, Jorge, his takedown defense looked amazing here. I was really impressed with his takedown defense, man. Let's talk about the good things that Jorge did here. He defended single legs beautifully. He really did. He defended the single leg beautifully. Even when Maia had his back, he was really, really in a lot of good positions here. And, he could have got submitted. And he got out. I give him a lot of credit for that. He ended up getting out, and then he landed a beautiful body kick in that. I don't know why this computer does this, but yeah, he landed a beautiful body kick there, and he looked good. But Damian he actually got some really clutch takedowns, though. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, man. He took his back. He was able to get a lot of good mat returns. He had a really good single leg, right? Jorge was defending the single leg great, but he ended up still taking him down. He had a lot of good takedowns in this fight, and I can understand why they gave it to him. He controlled him, and something I like that Damian did was, even though he might have not got the takedown, he would always, fucking pull guard or go for a half guard sweep, something like that, where he was just always trying to keep the fight on the ground. And he had these little like cool veteran tactics that I looked at. I was like, man, that's really dope. And that's just like fucking next level. But Jorge had really good takedown defense here, man. He really did. Oh, he had a beautiful sprawl too. If I forgot to add that, but he really had beautiful takedown defense here. But it didn't win him the fight because I felt like Maia was able to control him, and that's the thing, from this point of view, and this is why I talk about the storyline aspect of this fight, is that Maia was the number 1 contender bout for Masvidal. He was in top 5. Right, this was his fight to fight Tyron Woodley. Imagine Jorge versus Woodley at that. Like, I think about stuff like that. Like, man, how would that went down? But it never happened though. Colby, on the other hand, was lower on the rankings. Now, Jorge was the top 5 guy. He was the guy that was making moves at American Top Team. Colby was still climbing his way up the ranks, and this is where things started to change. This is where everything started to change. Everything, right? He couldn't beat Maia. Then he fought Wonder Boy, and he lost that fight. I don't want to really talk about that because I feel like it doesn't apply to the matchup. But that's when that's when the shift started to change, because he took those 2 losses, he went downhill, and Colby went up, and that's really what happened, right? So now with Jorge, he took those losses, you know what I'm saying, and he ended up fighting a guy like Ben Askren. This is crazy. Now Ben, I like Ben, bro. I really do. Ben's a good dude, man. He's an inspiration to a lot of young wrestlers that you don't have to be jacked to be good, right? He's a former national champion as a college wrestler. Like, he's a really good wrestler, and I got a lot of respect for him in the wrestling aspect. And he was a good MMA fighter. Well, last beat Korshkov, beat Lima. Has a win over Robbie Lawler, so he could take that to his grave. I don't think that win's real, but it is what it is. This fight was nuts. I mean, people forget Ben Askren was a top 5 UFC fighter. I looked at that. He was like, I think he was number 5 or 4 in the world. I was like, wow. Wow. It was just fucking funny to me. Right, a lot of trash talk, a lot of everything. This was just that perfect moment, perfect. Obviously, Jorge was coming off that win over Darren Till, but this was the fight that just sent him to a different. This is when I really started to dislike him, and I'll just be honest. This fight sent him past him being popular to UFC fans and hardcores. This is what sent him to the casual place where people that don't really watch the UFC start to notice him because they have that flying knee KO. They can send it as a GIF. They can repost and be like, oh, this dude's awesome. Street Jesus. Oh my God. This dude's cool. He got long hair. He's from Cuba. Comes up to that Scarface entrance music. This is really dope. Right? So, this is where it all started, man, and he got the fucking knee and he killed Askren. I knew he was gonna beat Askren though. I knew it. I just knew it, bro. That Robbie Lawler fight was just so bad, man. Robbie should have killed him. I don't know how Robbie lost that, man. To this day, I don't know how he lost that, but Jorge did his thing there, and yeah, he fought a grappler, right? And he had tremendous results, and we've seen him fight 2 grapplers, right? So. Obviously, right, we talk about a style that he did good. It's kind of similar to Colby. A style he did bad, right? He lost to Maia, but he beat Askren. And then his most recent fight, Kumar Usman. Usman was able to take him down in the first round. Jorge, he had a good moment there. He was able to get right back up. But I just feel like Usman hasn't really been concentrating on his wrestling as much as his striking. So I feel like that's why Jorge did really good in that wrestling aspect, like in both fights. I ever since leaving Henry Hooft, I've just seen a complete change in Usman. I know everyone's gonna get mad at me for saying this, and I'm gonna stick by my guns on this. He was better with Henry Hooft than he was with Trevor Whitman. I know he's getting the results, and he beat a Henry Hooft guy in Gilbert Burns, but Henry Hooft wasn't in the corner, so I'm just saying. He didn't really beat Henry Hooft. He beat Sanford MMA. But in terms of a coaching aspect, but I feel like he still had the threat of the takedown, so people still had to respect his wrestling. And I think Jorge was so concentrated on the wrestling aspect of the sport, and he was like, of the fight. It's not the sport, but of the fight. I think he just was like, he disregarded his striking. And that's the number one thing you can't do is underestimate your opponent, basically. And he underestimated Usman in there, and Usman landed probably the most karma-filled right cross I've seen in a long time. Because if you remember what Jorge was saying, before the fight, I mean, all respect to the kid, man, but man, he was talking crazy. He was talking crazy before that fight. I'm just going to leave a clip right here, actually. I feel like you guys should see it. It's just out of respect, but I feel like that needs to be seen, so I'm going to pause it right here.
He hits not hard at all. He's one of the softest hitters I've ever been in front of, period.
Squeeze that hook. Yep.
God didn't bless him with that manliness, where he could hurt another man with his fist, and it must suck to live that life.
He has no power. He has no power. But it is what it is. He lost, and sometimes you get caught, and sometimes you lose certain fights, and life goes on. He was scheduled to fight Leon. I think he made a business move there. I mean, he got hurt, but I mean, Derek Brunson fought Darren Till with a broken rib. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to say he didn't want to fight Leon. Maybe he's not scared of Leon. I don't think he's scared. No fighter's scared of another fighter, but I think he was like, I'd rather fight Colby. I feel like he did. I think he did. But I think because he thinks he can beat Colby. I think because he feels like he's bigger brother. He is older than him. That he can probably get this matchup and win this matchup. And it's a big matchup. And obviously they're main eventing a pay-per-view without a fucking belt. So look at that. Like that's what means money right there. And obviously Jorge, I will give one thing to Jorge. He is building this fight on his back. I've seen him do more media than Colby. He is promoting the fight more. And I think he is the bigger name out of the two. Jorge sold bigger pay-per-views than him. And yeah, so Jorge coming into this moment really against Colby after coming off of those losses, he really doesn't have anything to lose besides the fact that Colby has ran his mouth like crazy and said things that even I'm like, Colby's my guy, but it's okay. I laughed at it when he was talking about Maritza, but he shouldn't be saying that. Like, I'm just going to say that right now. He shouldn't be saying stuff like that, and that's just something you don't do. And that's just the honest truth. You don't say stuff like that, but where I'm from, you say stuff like that, you get killed. But this is the entertainment business, so yeah, it is what it is. So, Jorge's coming into this fight. He's going to want to kill Colby, and he does not want to lose to him. No fighter wants to lose to him, but the good thing is that he is the dog here, and no one expects him to win. So he does have a chance to go get the upset here coming into this fight. But if we look at Colby, like I was talking about with obviously Jorge, there was a big moment in Colby's career where things changed, right? Colby also fought Damian Maia with different results. He ended up winning that fight. This is when Jorge kind of took his absence from MMA. And, he wasn't really involved. And especially these next two fights I'm about to talk about are really big changers in their friendship, if you notice it. Like, everything started to change after that. And it's obvious. Both guys are getting better. And they've said it themselves. We're going to take over the world. To get, it was like 2 against the world. Something like that, right? 2 against the world. And they did what they did. Obviously, Usman ended that. He ended both of them. But they tried their best. And now they're doing the fight against each other. There's a part of me that might think this is all fake. But could be wrong. But against Maia, man, Maia landed some shots. And that's the thing. I'm worried for Colby. He is too durable. He's too tough for his own good, because he takes shots. He does get hit a lot. He has a good chin. That's one thing about Colby. He doesn't get enough credit. He has a really good chin. And he got hit bad, man. He got hit bad here a lot. He got hit with that overhand a lot. And that's something that Jorge can look at. He's really susceptible to body shots and to overhands, man. I've noticed that. A straight 1-2. He does take a shot to give a shot. But in this fight against Maia, man, he used his takedown defense. He was able to beat Maia by just using his takedown defense, being the better striker, and obviously in the later 2 rounds, and just broke Maia. Left him in a pool of his own blood, man. This shit was crazy, bro. I've never seen Maia get treated like that. It was a real impressive performance. And in that moment, man, against Maia, he just really... he set himself apart, and he probably cut one of the craziest promos after. But during that moment, Colby was a lower ranked fighter when he fought Maia. I think he was 7 or 6. He had just popped up to 2, 3, that kind of area in the top 5, and Jorge went down, right? You see the transition, right? Jorge originally was up, right? People don't want to talk about that. Jorge was a top 5 guy. He missed his opportunity to fight for a belt because he lost to Maia, right? Colby, on the other hand, got his opportunity to really fight for a belt in the interim title by beating Maia. And that's really the big difference. That's where things started to change. In my humble opinion, I think that's when their friendship really started to get simmered up. But obviously Jorge still was close with him. Right? He still was close with him and cornered him for the Rafael dos Anjos fight, and that fight was crazy, man. That fight is crazy, and that's why I think this fight's going to really look like. I think it's going to look like the dos Anjos fight. I think it's going to be, 49-46 or 48-47 when they do fight each other, if Colby does win. But this dos Anjos fight was tough, man. It was a tough fight for him, but he slugged it out, and he showed his warrior spirit in this one. And he beat a young dos Anjos. A lot of people don't want to talk about that. He beat a very young dos Anjos. Dos Anjos was in his fucking prime when he fought him, right? Fucking 33, and Colby was 30. When they fought each other. Like, people like to say this or that about Dos Anjos. He was not washed when they fought each other. Dos Anjos was in his prime. And Colby was the first guy to beat him at welterweight, Before Leon, before Usman, before the GOAT Chiesa. But Dos Anjos, he beat Dos Anjos before all those guys. And he came at Dos Anjos crazy with this insane pace. Like, he just came at him, threw a knee, then went to a takedown, got the takedowns. Like, it was nuts. He was just coming after him. Takedown, clinch situation. He kept going. But one thing I did notice from Colby that Dos Anjos did really well, I think in the third or the fourth round, Dos Anjos hit the body really well. He hurt him to the body bad. And yeah, I mean, he didn't hurt him to the body bad, but you could tell he's like, oh, he has that. He doesn't like getting hit in the body. He does not like getting hit in the body. And that's one thing I've noticed. But besides that, Colby continued to put on that price, continue to get takedowns, and continue to put a lot of really, really good pressure on him. But in the fourth round, which I think I scored at 49-46, I feel like, Colby won the fifth round just because I'll talk about why he won that fifth round. But RDA was able to get some takedowns of his own. He got like 2 takedowns in the later rounds. And he was really, really impressive that he was, he was able, some people felt like he won the last 2, right? And he was able to get like a 48-47 on some of the judges' scorecard because of this. But in my humble opinion, this last moment in the fifth round was the real impressive part, right? So I think like maybe 40 or 30 seconds left, and Colby's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna slug it out with you. I'm gonna fucking slug it out with you, and went hook for a hook against RDA. We saw what RDA did to Robbie Lawler before that. He was the first guy to beat Robbie. I give RDA a lot of credit for that, right? Well, he's not the first guy to beat him, but he was the guy to really beat him after T. Wood, right? And RDA was lighting him up, right? You don't want to get lit up by RDA, man. RDA got some decent striking, some decent boxing. He's also fighting on this card, by the way. But you don't want to be in the fire with that guy. And Colby was in the fire, and he won that exchange. He backed RDA up. He was the one leading the exchange. He broke him in those moments of striking, which was really, really impressive. And it showed his durability and toughness, man. It really did, man. That's something about Colby, that he has really unorthodox striking. I think his striking has become a lot more technical recently. But back then, he had really crazy striking. I felt like it's weird. I'm have some different opinions. Like I feel like some people might not agree with me, but he had better kicks than I'll talk more about that stylistic matchup that I'm about to bring up. But he has unorthodox striking. He has really good wrestling. He's really good clinch work. I feel like his wrestling is good, but he can't really control. That's one thing. He was able to control T. Wood though, but a lot of these guys, or Robbie was kind of able to control him. But a lot of these guys just get back up, and it pisses me off. Like, RDA was able to get back up constantly, and that's one thing I didn't like about Colby. Just the lack of control that he has sometimes, and it's kind of irritating. But after beating Rafael dos Anjos, he beat Robbie Lawler, and then he got the title shot against Usman. And so this is in this film study that I was breaking down. I looked at a storyline point of view fight, right? The Damian Maia fight, right? The Cerrone fight, stuff like that, right? For Masvidal, and then for Colby, I looked at the Maia and RDA fight, because this is where the friendship just stopped. It just stopped. After this fight, it was over. They were done. RDA says, not RDA. Wonder how RDA feels about it. But Jorge said he wasn't paying my fucking coach. Fuck him. After that fight. Colby says he was getting jealous of me because I was moving up the rankings, and he was moving up the rankings past, fucking journeyman boy, Jorge at the time, and he was moving up. But he did take a bit of a year hiatus and fought Robbie Law and then fought Usman. And this Usman fight, this is a guy I felt like Jorge can learn a lot from. And in this moment, in 2019, I'm going to say something that might be crazy. Out of the 3 fighters, Jorge had a better chance, in my humble opinion, of beating Colby quicker than Usman did. I really think when I watch Colby in 2019, I watch a guy that's just night and day. Like, he's good. But the guy that fought Usman in the rematch got tremendously better all around in his fighting skills. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Usman back then, I think, was way more complete, way more well-rounded. And I don't think his striking was that bad. He proved it in this Colby fight under the Henry Hu striking style, right? And this, it was crazy. It was crazy. And Colby's toughness is what really saved him through this fight. Now, imagine if this was fucking, right, Jorge. Colby's keeping his hands down right now. Colby came with a really crazy style, and there were times where he rocked Usman, right? And he was jabbing with Usman, and he was going back and forth. They were going to fucking war. But what really changed this whole entire fight to Usman's way, and what I didn't really realize this, but Usman was, this war that I saw between Colby and Usman was Usman breaking Colby throughout the fight. And it's crazy, right? That's what I saw. In the second fight, it's kind of like that didn't happen when they fought each other in that rematch. And I'll talk about that. It's crazy to me. And I think if Jorge was there, I think Jorge would actually do a lot better than what he's going to do on Saturday. I really do believe that. I truly believe that. I think 2019 Colby, looking at this, might have actually lost to Jorge. But I think he's actually improved since then. But yeah, the body shots that Usman was able to land on Colby completely changed the fight. It completely changed the fight. And it really dictated how the third round went. Because I felt like Colby won the second round, but that last body shot that Usman landed in that second round completely changed how the third round went. And we saw he ended up breaking his fucking jaw. Obviously, we all know Colby said he didn't break his jaw, but he broke his jaw, right? And it was wild. But the thing that Usman didn't have, that Jorge had, was that killer instinct, knowing when to kill. And in that fourth round, I felt like Colby really showed his fucking stride. He went out there and was like, fuck it, I'm not losing to you. Not in this round especially. I'm going to give him my fucking all. And I felt like Colby gave his last wind, in my humble opinion. And he wilted. It really is crazy to me. Like, I didn't really realize it. I was never one of these guys or these Colby fans that felt like it was an early stoppage. I did feel like, I'll take this to my grave. And this is why I call him a scammer boy, because he scammed his ass off this day. He scammed the whole world. He didn't get hit to the nuts from that body kick. And we all know it. I'll show the goddamn fucking clip. Punk ass. Like, man, he's not a punk ass nigga, but some of these Usman fans some punks for defending that. He lied. He didn't get hit in the nuts, and he know it. He know it. Right by the belt, man. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop the cap. He didn't get hit in the nuts. So he scammed, and I felt like he was able to, use that to change momentum. But there's a reason why I call him a scam. And I mean, not to talk bad about family, but his pops did get caught up for, fraud and scamming, right? So I know he likes to say his pops is innocent. We know how them Nigerians like to be scamming sometimes. So it is what it is. But but in that fifth round, there was a sequence I feel like people don't look. They look at that initial 1-2 that Usman landed to really knock Colby down, but they don't look at the two previous combinations Usman landed before that. Right, Usman landed two really big combinations to really hurt Colby, and you could see in that moment, in the last minute, Colby wilted. He kind of was getting ready to break, and he got hit with shots and the damage, and I think that Usman wasn't tired. And you can see Usman walking him down like this, walking him down, right? And in that moment, Usman was building. Colby was breaking. I think Colby was up 3-1, and I think he sat on a lead, right? You see that a lot in sports. When guys sit on a lead, they get comfortable, and then that's when they start to think the guy is going to be done, and he's not done. That's when they break, because that's just the hardest thing to deal with, is when you feel like you really beat somebody, but they're still not done, and you got nothing left in the tank, and then you got to take that punishment, right? They got to get their get back. They got to get you back for what you did to them, and Usman got him back with a vengeance, and those last 2 knockdowns were fucking crazy. Probably the greatest moment for Usman fan. No, I was sad. I was sad in the mug. My dad, he was talking so much shit, because my dad's a huge Usman fan. I'm a big Colby fan, and that's a cool dynamic, right? And that's what I love, right? It's cool. It's not even about, and that's the thing, I do want to say, it's not even about race, y'all. Like, I'm from Africa. My dad's from Africa. I like Colby. He like Usman. It's just the fun of the fight, right? My dad was talking so much shit. My dad was talking so much shit, and there's a lot of things though that Jorge can learn from that fight. I feel like more than even the rematch, but in that fight, in that first fight, that's what Jorge wants to do to Colby. I feel like that's what he needs to try to do. But in the second fight, I saw something completely different, and that's why I truly believe Colby got better than Usman, but Usman, even though I feel like he got worse, he still matched up well with Colby, and that's why I felt like he won. This fight was really, really close. There was some really cool, and I really liked this fight a lot. I don't know, maybe because it's been recent, and I've seen that Usman Colby fight so many damn times, but I actually prefer the rematch, because I feel like I wanted to see them wrestle so much, and I was funny. They didn't wrestle a lot, but I was really happy that they did wrestle in the second fight, and we got to see some awesome scrambles and high level wrestling between those guys. And right, fucking awesome reversal by Usman in the first round after Colby's going for the single leg, and he's able to reverse it and get on top, and that was just amazing what we saw in there. And then in the second round, obviously we saw what happened. Oh no, my bad. Usman got his own takedown, right? And then fucking Colby was able to, shot right back up with a really, really cool, get up by him. And just really, I was happy with what we saw. But in that second round, though, this is where I feel like Usman kind of showed his true colors. I feel like I might be wrong, but I feel like he showed the decline, man. I really do feel like he showed the decline in that second round, right? So he was able to get the knockdown. He got 2 great knockdowns, right? But from rounds 3, 4, and 5, he couldn't do nothing with it. He couldn't build up on it, right? I saw that this guy really thinks he's fucking T-Bud in there, right? And he really thought he was the best. He was the better striker of the two. It wasn't true. He might be the stronger striker, or he has more power on his shots. He might have. I feel like he was the better striker. He proved that he was the better striker in this first fight. Showing how he was able to build up, using those teep kicks, talking the body, throwing the straight shots. But in this one, he was throwing really dumb in the second fight, and Colby was able to use it to his advantage. I felt like he got one really good takedown in there, and I was really impressed he was able to get that takedown in the third round after getting knocked down like that. And then at the end of the fourth round, he started lighting fucking Usman up. He started hurting him, and he fucking rocked him with a beautiful rear hook at the end of the fourth round. And there's a real debate that Colby won this fight. I think I could really see it. At first, I thought it was 3-2 Usman. The fifth round, they didn't really do anything. In the fifth round, I thought Usman had a beautiful sprawl. That was one thing Usman showed me, that he still has great takedown defense, amazing takedown defense. His offensive wrestling isn't as good as it used to be, but it was amazing how he was able to fucking stuff some of Colby's takedowns. It was really good. But Colby, I don't think Colby could even take Usman down in the first fight, but the fact that he was able to get him down in the rematch showed me that I feel like Usman's wrestling just got worse, in my humble opinion, and he's fallen in love with his hands. But I could see when I rewatched it, I was like, I see a draw. because I do feel like Colby won 3, 4, and 5, but it's really close. And the 5th round, I feel like most guys didn't really do a lot, but I could see that. I could really see that. I could see a debate there that maybe fucking Colby won, or maybe it's a draw. But I thought Usman did really good though too, and I think there's no problem with seeing the fight. Going to Usman, and that's what I love, man. There was at the end a lot of respect between Colby and Usman, and I love that. I really did. I know Colby said some stuff about Usman after the fight, and my dad was pissed. But in that moment, when my dad, because he doesn't watch the fights live with me. Sometimes he has work, so sometimes he'll have to fucking watch it. What's it called? The replay later, and he was kind of happy that they hugged it out. And he was like, you know what, Effie, that Ku Klux Klan member, I respect him. I like that racist white boy. I got no problem with that racist white boy no more. Show respect, right? So he was happy, but but at the end of the day, I was happy to see they had some respect for each other. But Colby went to bat with the pound for pound best dude in the world, and Usman lost multiple rounds to Colby, right? On a lot of judges' scorecards, he's lost multiple rounds, and that's the difference. And now we're here, and Colby asked for this fight. He told Jorge, back out, get out of that fight, and it is what it is, to each of his own. But he did what he did, and now we're here. Now we're here. And that's what makes this fight great, man. I obviously link those, those fucking videos where you can see where the friendship, how close these guys were, because I felt like I couldn't really break that down, but I could break down the film and how these guys match up. Jorge's, in terms of how these guys need to win, in my opinion, Jorge has great striking. He's really good boxing. I know he got exposed, and I don't think he has the best striking in the division. I think Leon beats him on the feet. I think Usman did beat him on the feet. I think Wonderboy beats him on the feet. He did beat him, actually. I think him and Luque would be a war, but he has really fun striking. It's decent, good boxing, good lead hooks, good body kicks, attacks the body really well, and like I said, body, right? So I was watching the interview with T. Wood, and T. Wood said it best. I'll leave that clip.
Try to embarrass him and really just use what he is best. He has the best boxing. I feel like in MMA right now, I feel like his hand speed is crazy. His ability to work the body is nuts. Colby Covington does not like body shots. I knew it. Why I didn't go there more often, I don't know. Masvidal knows it. He gave me some tips on it. I just think he's going to work him to the body. Colby has to go and take him down.
Right? So, yeah, he got to attack the body. And if he really wants to win this fight, that's what he has to do. He has to attack the body and defend the takedowns. He has good takedown defense. And Colby, against T. Wood, he was able to control him on the ground. But against a lot of other guys, he hasn't been able to keep him there. And a lot of guys get up. So Jorge has to always get up. And Jorge has a real chance, man. He has a legit chance. I don't blame nobody for picking Jorge. Because at the end of the day, as much as I love Colby, he's not Usman. He really isn't. His wrestling's great. He has great cardio, and he keeps going. That's what makes him impressive. But he cannot keep guys down for some odd reason. Now, I think with MMA Masters and what they were able to do with Colby, he improved. His striking got better, and he's not as wild. Like I was saying before, my biggest point was Colby got better. And I think the Jorge of 2019 actually has a chance to beat Colby of 2019. But right now, I do not think so. I think Colby's striking defense got so much better. He keeps his hands up. He's not keeping his hands as low as he used to. If you go look at that first Usman fight, he's very, very technical with his striking. He can still get caught. Don't get it twisted. But, he has really, really good defense. And, I shouldn't say really good defense. He has improved defense. His striking is actually really underrated. I feel like he has really good body kicks and head kicks. His hands has gotten better, and his the way he gets out of the pocket in returns, I think he's better. And his wrestling, it's always getting better. And I would love to see him in this fight. I'd love to see him use more control and just get top time. Really, that's what it comes down to for him. He needs to get real legit top time over him, and that will show me that he can still be in those talks for winning a belt, because I do think Leon Edwards will beat Usman, and I think we will see Leon versus Colby Covington in the future. I really do believe that, and I think Colby Covington wins a unanimous decision here. I think 49-46. I think Jorge's gonna win a round. I think the first round he's gonna win. Jorge's gonna have some tricks for him. But like I said, I'm wearing all black for a reason. This will be a little pre-funeral session. So I just want to say, Jorge, you had a great life. I do appreciate you for all your fights. But at UFC 272, it's all over. the GOAT, Colby Covington, is getting it done. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. I gotta go with Colby. I gotta go with Colby. But yeah, Colby by decision. Colby's the man, the myth, and the legend. Future champ Colby Covington. But don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. If you're new, subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Love y'all, and goodbye.
George is the one guy that I despise more than anybody. I've wanted this fight since the day he turned his back on me and backstabbed me like the bum he is.
You can't run. You can't hide. I'm coming for you.
I'm not looking to go out there and finish him quick.
Look at that street, Judas.
I'm going to make him pay on March 5th. This isn't going to be a baptism. This is going to be Street Judas's funeral.